So first thing I want to do is welcome everybody here to this event. It's a little unusual. You know, normally you build a project and maybe you have a ribbon cutting or something like that. This is going to be a switch throwing, and I'm going to preface it by saying it's a ceremonial switch throwing because this array's actually already been up and operating for the last month. Today, this time of day, it's probably putting out about 1.8 megawatts. First, let me thank County Executive Jan Gardner for coming and attending and speaking today, as well as council members Jerry Donald and Jessica Fitzwater. I appreciate your time today. Reagan Riley from Congressman Trone's office is here also, and she's got a presentation to the county executive. And I'd also like to recognize Garrett Gottlinger somewhere in the crowd here. He's our senior project engineer with Tesla, and Tesla is the builder of this project. Their contractor, God Electric, was the primary contractor on it, and Grant from God Electric is here as well. Members of the press, thanks also for coming. So with that introduction, again, I want to bring Jan Gardner up and let her speak about this project. It's about 3.5 years into development, but we're now at the point of generating power, and we'll explain in a little bit where that power is going.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to see you all here this morning, and I really want to thank you for coming and joining us for this ceremonial commissioning of our new solar array. Today, I'm really pleased to say that Frederick County is powered by the sun. We are poised for the future, and we are proud to be leading the way with renewable energy. By reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, we are being good stewards of our environment and making a concerted effort to keep our environment healthy and thriving. We know that when we go green, we also save green. This solar array is a great example of that. The solar panels that are behind us will produce over 3.5 million kilowatt hours of electricity a year, and potentially more than 4 million a year in the early years. This solar project will provide power to 7 county government facilities through a process called net metering. With net metering, the electricity generated by the array is transferred to the Potomac Edison grid, and the county can then offset our power costs at designated county facilities across Frederick County. The 7 county buildings being powered by this solar project are Winchester Hall, which is the seat of government, the Scale House you drove through here at the landfill to get in, the Frederick Senior Center on Tawney Avenue, 3 of our libraries, including the Sieber Arts Library in Frederick, the Urbana Regional Library, and the Emmitsburg Library, which is also home to the Emmitsburg Senior Center and the Emmitsburg Town offices. But the coolest part is the 7th facility. The solar array will power up the charging stations for our electric buses at our transit facility, which is why we have one of our all-electric transit buses here. So that means that the buses will be running on 100% renewable energy powered by the sun that falls right here in Frederick County. I think that's really cool. There is no one else in our region that is doing this. So again, I think Frederick County really is leading the way. Combined, these buildings and facilities make up almost 20% of the county's general electric usage. We don't include our water and wastewater treatment plants, which operate as separate enterprise funds. We're also looking at solar solutions at our Ballinger-McKinney wastewater treatment plant, which by the end of this year will be home to our 2nd solar array. And that array will charge batteries for the backup for the operation of the treatment plant. Now, another great part about this project and this solar array is that where we are. We're right here at the landfill, and this solar array was built on a closed section of the landfill. And there really is no better place to build a solar array because this land really can't be used for anything else. So we're generating power and savings, and we're doing it on land that the county owned and that really had limited other uses. So it's a great deal for county taxpayers. The project will continue to deliver great outcomes for years to come. And I really want to thank the foresight of Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Mike Marshner. Mike has been working on this project for 3.5 years and has really negotiated a great deal for Frederick County. He negotiated a 20-year power purchase agreement with Tesla Energy that is going to save taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. An independent review found that the power supply system will result in savings of about $250,000 and possibly more than $500,000 over a 20-year period, and that's a lot of money. And these estimates are conservative. Under the terms of the agreement, the county will also have access to the renewable power at a fixed rate for the next 20 years, and that's really a reflection of some great negotiation as well. During this time, Tesla will be responsible for the operation and the maintenance of the solar array. The agreement will also allow the county to purchase and own the solar renewable energy credits, or RECs, and we have a good deal on the RECs. We have opted to purchase the RECs for at least the next 6 years, and each REC will cost $22, which is really an incredibly good rate. By comparison, RECs on the market today cost anywhere between $54 and $57, so another good deal. So we're saving money on the RECs, which moves us very close to meeting our goal of 20% as identified in our Maryland Smart Energy Communities application. And we're saving money by generating the power for 7 county-owned facilities. So we're creating these savings on land, again, that can't be used for other purposes. So this project really is a huge positive and a big win-win for Frederick County residents. So I want to thank everyone who's had a hand in making this project happen. And of course, I most want to thank Mike Marshner, who's been working diligently on this. I also want to thank the contractor, Gott Electric, who installed the array in less than 6 months. Tesla, and in particular Garrett Gottlinger, who is Tesla's senior project manager. I thank both of you for being here. It's a real pleasure to meet you. And again, Mike also spent not only years turning this array into reality, he had to make sure that all the proper permits were in place from the state, which is no small task. And he negotiated the agreement first with Solar City, and then when Solar City was purchased by Tesla, he had to renegotiate the contract again for a second time, which is part of the reason why it took so long. I also want to thank our legal staff and our county attorney, John Mathias, for his assistance with the power purchase agreement and its amendments. In addition, I want to thank Kevin Demosky, the Director of the Division of Utilities and Solid Waste Management, Phil Harris, the Director of the Department of Solid Waste, and all their staff and everybody that works in that department and recycling. They do a great job. Shannon Moore, the Manager of the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Resources, whose staff is responsible for making sure the county meets our Maryland Smart Energy Communities goals. This solar array is an important part of our Frederick County Sustainability Plan. It is important that we lay the foundation for a sustainable future for our community and that we address climate change. Just last week, Frederick County was recognized for its commitment to sustainability when we were named a LEED Silver certified community. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. LEED for Communities is a new program for jurisdictions that want to put in place responsible, sustainable plans for the future. Frederick County is one of the first counties in the nation to receive this certification, so another way that Frederick County is leading the way through this program. So we can be proud that Frederick County is moving in the right direction. We can be proud that we're moving forward with sustainable practices and that Frederick County is powered by the sun. Now, when I came out here today, I thought we should all sing Here Comes the Sun, but if I sang that, you'd probably all depart. So I was not going to do that. But we're really going to be providing renewable energy for years to come, and I see you out there doing that, Roger. And I think Frederick County is poised for a bright future. So I do want to thank the county council members who are here today, Jerry Donald and Jessica Fitzwater. We never do anything alone in our administration. We always need the support of our county council, so we appreciate your support for all of our sustainable practices. I want to recognize our staff from DPW that's here, our transit staff that brought the bus, our members of our Sustainability Commission who was here. Have I missed anybody? The library. We're going to be powering up our libraries. And we hope to post all of these facilities as with saying Powered by the Sun in Frederick County so that people know and recognize what we're doing in our community. So with that, I think I'm supposed to turn it over to the next speaker, and I'll turn it back to Mike Marshner.
So I get to talk about things that I understand, which are the technical details of this project rather than the other elements. But Give you a little background on the project. As the county executive mentioned, we're actually procuring this power through a power purchase agreement, long-term power purchase agreement. And the way that works is that Tesla owns and operates the array on our landfill. We buy the power at a fixed rate, and that rate does not change over the 20-year period. So whereas your power normally goes up every few years with escalation or inflation, this rate does not go up. So it's a very good deal for us. It did take a little while to put this in place. As the county executive mentioned, we had to renegotiate the contract after Tesla was purchased Solar City, because the original agreement was with Solar City. So it took us a little while to get it in place, but now it's operational. In fact, I think Garrett texted me earlier and said we're putting out about 1.8 megawatts right now. So it's a very good project. It took a while to put in place, but we're there. The other thing that's interesting about this project is on a closed landfill, and you might have noticed that there are gas wells around us, the black pipes sticking out of the landfill. So we had to arrange or deploy the array avoiding these gas wells because we have to get to them to maintain them. The other interesting thing about the gas wells is that they actually were the source of a different type of electrical power here just a year ago when we decommissioned our landfill gas to electricity project, and those gas wells were supplying those gas turbines, or actually their internal combustion Jenbecker generators. Those generators generated about 2 megawatts of power, and since we knew that project was coming to a close because of diminishing gas, we decided to try to parlay the capacity of that into this project, and we got First Energy to work with us, and they allowed us to transfer that capacity to the solar array so we didn't have to spend additional funds to upgrade their distribution system for this interconnection. So the Tesla PV array behind us and its transformers and everything occupy about 14 acres on this site. It's all the closed landfill. None of this land can really be used for anything else. The panels are fixed at about 25 degrees, and if I make a mistake, Garrett's going to correct me. He's going to give me the high sign. There's 7,776 individual PV modules deployed here, each one having 345 watt DC generation capacity. The total generation capacity on a good day with everything working right is just about 2 megawatts. What you'll notice also is that the way they're installed, this is a closed landfill, so we can't dig down. There's a cap below here that we have to maintain, and we can't interrupt it. And so everything's got to be ballasted. Even the conduits have to run along the ground. They can't go underneath. So we had a very minimal impact on the top of the landfill, plus they had to be designed so that the pressure from these panels, even when they have snow on them, is minimal, so it does not affect the landfill's cap. So with that said, constructing a large array like this on a closed landfill requires some additional permitting, and we had to get permission from the Maryland Department of the Environment for that, for this project. And MDE was very helpful, but with anything that MDE looks at on a regulated site, they're always careful to make sure things are done correctly. So that took a little while to get that approval. So the power from these solar panels that you see generate DC current, which are converted to AC current through inverters, and that AC current is then, you can't see it because the bus is in the way, but is interconnected through a 12,500 volt interconnection with Potomac Edison's distribution system. Power goes off into Potomac Edison's distribution system, and then we pull it off where we need it for our county buildings. And that's the idea of net metering. And fortunately, this state with Potomac Edison has a virtual net metering tariff that we're allowed to capitalize on. Finally, I want to say I really want to recognize Garrett Gottlinger and the people at Tesla who worked on this project, as well as God Electric. Grant did a great job, and I think Phil's around here someplace. I'm going to speak for Phil. I think Phil had an excellent experience working with them. They did they were always receptive to his needs. Again, he's working in a regulated site, and it was very fortunate that we had such a good working relationship with him. Finally, Chuck Knipe and Dave Ennis worked very closely with us to identify the ideal accounts that we should be doing net metering with for multiple layers of reasons, one of which was cost savings. Others would include those that already had existing cellular meters where there was limited cost to put them on a net metering schedule. So that's the project in the technical details. After this event, Garrett Gottlinger's here, and he can answer any technical questions you might have, and I'm sure there's a few of you that know all about solar, and you may have some very detailed questions, and Garrett's here to answer them. So with that, I'd like to introduce Reagan Riley with Congressman Trone's office, and I think she has a presentation to the county executive.
Good morning, everybody. It's an honor to be here on behalf of Congressman David Trone. I know that, and he sends everybody his regards. I know that this is a project that he's been very interested in, but ever since he found out about it, because not only is it a movement towards being even more sustainable in Frederick County, but it's a smart use of our public resources as well. So it is my honor to present a congressional citation. This citation is presented to the Frederick County government on the occasion of today's ceremonial commissioning of the Reichsford Road landfill solar array, in recognition of your commitment to increasing Frederick County's use of renewable resources and ensuring a bright future for our community through sustainability measures. Thank you. Signed, David Trone, Member of Congress.
Stand, take a step over so we make sure we Right, thank you very much.
Don't go away because we got one more thing for you to do. So Jan, we were going to have a ribbon cutting as I mentioned, but it didn't seem to fit with all this power going out, so we thought we'd have a ceremonial switch throwing. So if you would do us the honors.
Okay. All right. Why don't you stand on that side? Do you two want to come and stand up here with me? They can stand beside me. Okay, and I'll try to do this. This is actually harder than it looks. Okay, so.
It's a lot of power, that's why.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, give Robin a chance to get ready.
1, 2, 3.
Left of me is exactly where this power goes, to the 7 facilities that are powered up from this array through Potomac Edison's net metering. So this gives you an idea of the 7 facilities and where they're located in the county and how convenient this is to have a array on top of a closed landfill, but we send the power to where we need it.
I think Mike had a big role in making this happen too. So. Which is very I think that ends our ceremony today, but we do have brief tours of the solar array for those of you who may be interested. So hang around and check it out. And we really are very excited that today we can say that Frederick County is powered by the sun.